believe we are live. So I'll say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. I thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution. Today's whole stream topic is about reacting in anger, and there's noises behind me of my sister sanding something. My mom is chopping plastic, so I hear and my dad is for some reason just standing with the tractor. Yeah, you can hear it, just idling. He's been standing there idling for the last 20 minutes. I mean, we got a kitty joining us. Yeah, so reacting in anger, right? I feel like every single one of us knows exactly what I'm talking about and just saying those words. You know the energy that comes up in us sometimes when something happens and we just have this undeniable experience of rage, like "Arr, arr, arr," that comes up in us. And today's whole stream topic isn't about saying that that is wrong necessarily. I'm definitely not saying it's right. But what I am trying to get at is this part of us that recognizes directly afterwards when we've reacted in anger, when we've reacted in that, right? And we think about it and we're like, oh, I don't really know if I want to be acting like that necessarily, right? So that's what we're talking about today. Noticing the part of us that can get angry and choosing to be differently. Is that a Nova I see? Beloved, Brother Bear, I slept in and missed yoga. We missed you. We were actually talking about you, Lovazana. It's a completely okay. I'm happy you got a little bit more rest. Sending you lovin's. Thank you. Thank you, Shan, for saying the same thing. Nova, again, lovin's to you. Woohoo! Joy Viv and Kristen joining us too. What a blessing. Let's read something worth saying. Probably have a little bit of sun on my face today. I'm getting properly triggered. I'm like I know that's what this whole lesson is about, right? The universe is like, oh yeah, you want to talk about reactions of anger? You want to talk about that? How about I give you a bunch of things to react to? No, stop! No, stop it! I don't want to react to things in anger. I was like, yeah, well, don't. Just don't. You can just choose not to react in anger. I'm like, oh yeah, it's that easy. It's so easy. We're getting better at it. That's what we're pushing towards. That's the envelope we're pushing forward every single day. Thank you. I must have. How are you and Amara? Did your book arrive? I'm curious as well. I hope so. Thank you. Louisiana for manifesting such, beautiful things. Joy Vive, how's the kitties? Do let us know, Joy. Today's whole stream topic was technically inspired by cats. By cats. Because I had this anchor arise in me. We have something called drovors hanging. It's like it's meat encased in a tube that you hang to dry. I know that doesn't exactly sound very appealing or appetizing when I articulate it in that way, but it's easy protein. Dry meats are pretty good if you want to get your protein needs in. And I hang these things and I set it up to try and eliminate the threat of cats eating the meat off of this drying rack. But the cats ended up eating more of it than us humans could. Papa? Papa? Hoekom idle die trekker? Hoekom idle die trekker? Hoekom idle die trekker? He's doing okay, I'm learning the lesson. I wasn't reacting in anger. I was asking a question. I was just asking a question, wasn't I? Inconsideration. It's the one thing. If you really want to piss me off, don't consider me at all. like in pretty guaranteed way. It's like gonna push that button, you know. And it's the same thing with the cats, right? That is the thing. It's like they just don't consider. They're like, oh wow, this must be for me, obviously, right? The dogs wouldn't dare. The dogs wouldn't even think about it. But the cats, they don't care. They're like, like we're gonna listen to you, oh, like we're gonna, you know, pay respect. Like there's gonna be any honoring. Like we're gonna feel any guilt whatsoever. None. None, right? Like the same thing with my dad right now. There's no guilt. He doesn't care. He doesn't care that, you know, listening to an idling tractor in the background fucks with my brain. He doesn't care. And I need to accept that, right? It doesn't help me to get enraged with the cats. In the same way, it doesn't help me to get enraged with my dad. That's just who they want to be, it seems. You know, I can accept that. I can accept it. I don't want to accept it. Oh, I don't want to accept it. Oh no. I feel Brother Duck Dad's energy from yesterday, the whole city thing, right? Like a part of us, especially as masculine individuals, can feel that accepting means we believe it's okay, right? That there's a certain part of us that says, okay, this is fine when we accept. Because it's not fine. Mm-mm-mm. Nothing fine about it. Just rage. Just like I'm gonna go and get a sun shield because I'm probably gonna get wrecked if I just sit in the sun like this. Another thing to make me angry. I'm gonna go and talk to Dad. No, I'm not. Fuck that. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. You don't care? I cannot anger. I am only happies. Only Zen mode 5000. Chillaxing. It's been 30 minutes of him idling that. Huh? Halbert vir die klank. Wat vir die klank? Nee, dis vir die son. Dis vir die son. Soos like die trekker idle nou al vir 30 minute lang. I'm getting so triggered. So fucking triggered. Oh my goodness. Oh, noise pollution. Right? Especially if it's something completely unworthy of the human mind. Like I'm thinking about the gases my dad is putting in the air right now. For what? No work is being done. There's just an actual, in my mind, living entity drinking diesel, compressing that diesel, igniting it, making an explosion, and then putting that gas out into the air that I'm breathing right now. And I can hear that sound. Every gas, gas. Money gone, plus more pollution in the air. Why is he doing that? He just walked past again. He's not walking towards the tractor to turn it off. I need to. I'm not learning today's lesson. Papa, hoekom idle die trekker? Gaan sit hom af asseblief, papa. He can't. He can't put it off. And if he puts it off, I need to start it again. I think today's whole stream topic, maybe that's, I feel like I'm getting to it. This lesson I'm supposed to be learning. That the thing that will make us more angry than anything is not so much just the inconsideration, right? Because that is a part of it. But I feel the inconsideration comes from something larger, where it's on a fundamental level a difference in the way we see the world. Like the way that I see the world is as a partner, right? That this world is a partner to this experience I'll call life, a dancing partner, something to be loved. And to my dad, he sees the world as something that's a reduction, something that is less than what he considers God, where I believe this is God, right? She is God to me, at least, Mama Gaia. And then having a tractor that's burning diesel, just like pumping gas out into the air, to him that doesn't mean anything. He doesn't care, because who is he hurting, he thinks to himself. Right? Oh, it's gonna be, a couple of bucks maybe, even if it's a couple of bucks of fuel that I idle away. That doesn't mean anything. And yet to me it does. And I guess that's the part that makes me angry more than anything. Is this part of me that cannot understand how we think so differently. In the same way with the cats, right? Like I can see how the dogs have this deep respect for us as people. Like the last thing that a dog wants is you as their caretaker, as their friend, to be angry with them. Right? They want to be in your good books. They want to vibe with you in so many words. And a cat just doesn't care. They're like, you think I care whether or not you like me or not? You're still gonna feed me. I was writing in my journal today. These freaking cats manipulate and steal from us, and we still feed them, right? Even if these creatures manipulate and steal from us, we'll still take care of them. That's the level of love we are capable of as human beings. Even though they don't see the world the way we do. It can make us angry, but we can still kind of be mindful thereof. I'm trying to absorb the lesson. I'm taking the lesson, please. May that lesson sink in. Mojo is here too, sending your lovins, dear friend. Fluffy and useless as usual. Yes. Yes, useless and needy, right? That's like such a horrible combination. Useless and needy. Like, I was thinking the same thing about our cats. I've been watching them kill so many lizards as of late, Joy. And it hurts my heart, where I'm like, bruh, stop killing the lizards. There's a little fly in my water. It's really holding on. Like, stop killing my lizards, yo. My lizards are just chilling. They're like laying in the sun, vibing, and then this monster that we call cat pounces on them and doesn't just kill them, and they don't even eat them. That's the worst part. If they were actually eating them, I guess I would be a little bit more okay with it. But they just kill them for the sake of killing them, and then they leave their dead bodies on the floor, and I have to clean that. And then my heart breaks, where I apologize to these poor lizard souls for having themselves murdered by these animals that I allowed into our home, that I'm feeding them, And I'm like, I was thinking to myself, like these things are supposed to be catching rats. I'm not even supposed to be feeding them technically. They're supposed to be living off the land. And then the cat screams at me. And I'm like, bro, please, you just murdered something that I love so dearly. And now you want more? You want more? You want more from me, do you? So many layers of anger about something so trivial, right? I was writing about this as well. Inconsequential, right? Part of me feels like it isn't inconsequential, but ultimately it is. Right? What's going to be more consequential? Me reacting in anger and then ruining that moment of time for myself and something else? Or me just simply accepting that impermanence is a thing, right? That inevitably the sun is going to explode. Well, technically it's going to expand to a red giant consuming our earth first, and then it's going to explode. So yeah, chillax. Calm down. We're gonna be fine. It's not easy. It's not easy. I feel inspiration is so beautiful. Me too, dude. I feel inspiration is the one thing that I'm really good at giving others. I really wish I could inspire my dad to turn off that tractor though. Like I'm watching the time as it ticks by and it's been 40 minutes. Papa, hy trekker idle vir 40 minute lank. Nou start hom wanneer hom wil ry, papa. Papa, gooi gasse in die lug in. Yeah, he says. Yes. That is what I'm doing. No remorse. No. Doesn't care. They just do not care. It doesn't matter to them. Yeah, fuck the earth, they say. Yeah, fuck it. Kill it. You know, let's blow more holes in it. Pump more oil from her. Okay. I love them too. Love is true. I love them too. Love is true. I love them too. Love is true. We are good, Loizana. Birthday party tomorrow, so it's going to be hectic. Thank you for asking. I haven't received the book just yet. I'm sure it'll be here soon. How are you doing? Love is true. Ooh, it's 12 p.m. here. Sending you blessings. Dry sausages, /salami. More on the sausage side, technically. It's like red meats. Cat's destroyed by the red meat. Cats destroyed the red meat. Yeah, they ate like a pound, you know, about pounds worth of meat. Meld, have you tried light language healing? It's so powerful and freeing. I can't say that I have, to be completely honest, dear friend. I'm going to unconsider you, Mel. Don't you dare unconsider me. Don't you freaking unconsider me. Paula, Hoopy, it's nice seeing your name here too, dear friend. Good morning, best of besties. I'm snuggling like a warm cinnamon bun in my bed. Love you, Duck Dad. Blessings to you. I'm so happy because I'm working on 3 different songs. I'm just so proud. And it brings me joy to make music. Keep going. I have a few friends that's making music right now as well. And they're getting really good at it. And the amount of work they put in is so impressive. Sending you the same encouragement, inspiration that I sent them as well, Brother Bear. Shan, I'm flat on my back in bed. Healing is not linear. I had to go for a mammogram yesterday. And it just wore me right out. I'm so sorry to hear that, dear friend. Sending you even more healing vibes. That was Anna. I know that this can't be easy. Blessings. Mel, do you believe in sunscreen? Weirdly enough, Nova, I actually put some sunscreen on my face today. Specifically. I don't do it every day, even though I should probably. But I, in theory, believe in sunscreen. Only because I was able to see in the UV spectrum. Not with my own eyes, but through a video where they had these UV cameras. And then they put sunscreen on people's faces. And it adds like an actual physical layer that absorbs sunlight in the UV spectrum a little bit better than your normal face would. And it helps so you don't get as wrecked. Feed the fluff. The fluffs are fed. They have more than enough food, like an excessive amount of food. Like Shelby is actually getting a little bit chubby now. You know, she's doing well for herself. She was really thin when she got back from that. They were like rescues, basically. Really thin back then, but they're fed, you know, excessively. They're having a good life. I hope you're able to get the rest you need, Loizana. Thank you, Shan, for sending love. Kristen, my bed have like 24 plushies on it though. Yeah, children's, right? 898, such a lovely number. So well constructed and balanced. Morning, beloved ones. Your energy is like a nuclear explosion, Joe Schmo. In a good way. Contained nuclear explosion where all of the energy is harnessed for the good of humanity. Blessings to you, dear friend. Oh my goodness, don't tempt me. I love plushies. Get on the tractor and take us for a ride, Melt. Don't threaten me of a good time. Hopefully, within the next like 5 minutes, there will be a change. You friends can definitely hear it though. At least it's not like overbearing on your side. I hope not at least. Probably just like a low hum. Get it. I can see my little sound meter registering. Yeah, I've been getting angry recently. I hate being angry because I get so angry at times and I don't know why. I believe, and this is what I was trying to teach myself this morning. I still feel like I'm having a hard time really understanding the lesson, but we're trying to get to it. I believe the reason we get so angry is because other people or other things don't see the world the way we do, right? Like it's like we're being offended, right? It's like an offense to our world. It's like I would like to live in a world where my cats respect me enough to not eat my things, right? But no, I don't live in that world because I have cats in my world. So I have to accept. And if I don't take a moment to actually consider that whole fractal, the only thing that registers as like a ping, like a dunk, is the offense, right? Like it's offensive to your senses. It's offending my senses audibly that thing is still idling, right? It offends me. And that offend keeps arising. But then I also realized that just tends to be the reality with having a dad that just doesn't consider me, right? And so I'm like, oh yeah. It's almost like this has been my state of reality my entire existence. And this some small, seemingly small thing, right? Like the idling. To him it's like, oh, it's just idling. But to me, it is the symptom of the same thing that he's always been doing, right? A lack of consideration. Just like doesn't care. Does not care. Doesn't even have a reason to, right? Doesn't see himself as doing anything wrong for not caring. And then I'm the one that's selfish by saying something, right? Like that's gonna be the reaction, right? Like, oh yeah, you're so selfish. You want me to turn the tractor off when you're streaming. I'm like, no, I just don't want you to have it idling when you're literally just like walking back and forth, not doing anything with the tractor. You're putting gases in the air. Yes. Yes, I am doing that. Yes, I am. Yeah. But instead of that, I'll just go like, oh, wow. Oh, okay. Seems this is how it is. I'm not being considered. I am being offended. And that's fine. It's fine, right? Doesn't take anything away from me technically. Gives me rage. Gives me this experience of momentum to want to see things changed, right? But I can still choose how I use the momentum, how I can try to induce change. I don't have to do it the way that I'm used to. And again, I feel like the real power for the human being isn't necessarily getting angry or not, but very much so this ability for us to get angry and then to choose to be differently next time. The tractor is leaving. Oh, it's getting closer. My dad is gonna drive the gate off. No consideration, no awareness. Like he just hit the gate that was closing in on him. More momentum. Wow, I'm getting so much momentums. My mind is running in circles. Oh. I think the joke to me is the fact that I've been trying for so long, in the same way, Nova, to not be angry. You know, I don't like being angry either. I'm sure that there are some people who find joy in being angry at things. But to me, it just makes me feel like it takes away my ability to rationally think about anything else, right? It takes away my ability to love, in fact, right? It replaces my love with a sense of vigilantism, a need for justice, right? And I don't know if a need for justice is necessarily indicative of love. I think there's like some tension attached to it, right? Like, if you take enough steps away from love, still starting from love, eventually you'll get to justice. But you have to take a bunch of steps away from it first. And I don't like taking steps away from it ultimately. So I'm gonna choose to just stay here. Ugh, stay right here. Connor, me too, brother. It's a sign you're getting burnt out from something wearing you down. Could be. Joy, do tractor rides for customers. Halloween party. I'll give you all rides. Sounds so sick. Can we get tipsy and verbally belligerent, Doug? Please no, right? Riding tractors and getting wasted, not a good combination of things to do. Like seriously, right? Like if you slip and a tractor drives over you, that's you gonzo. You know, you're gonna sleep with the fishes. I don't know why I said that exactly. Gonna be 6 foot under. Why? Yeah, tractors are dangerous. Yeah, they weigh multiple tons. You do not want to find yourself underneath one of those wheels. Stay centered if you're gonna be on tractors. I feel the same, Connor. Not sure why my fuse is so short, but I was really thirsty yesterday and dropped my drink all over the car and my foot, and I just lost it. And I was later thinking, what is wrong with me? There we go. See, you see, like that's exactly the thing I'm trying to get at today, Kristen, that I'm trying to like untangle in our minds. Because I agree completely. That initial reaction that we had to the thing angering us, right? That doesn't feel good, right? And it wasn't a reaction. It was like a to something happening. And then we take some steps, right? I feel we get closer to love in a weird way in ourselves again. And then being in that state of love, we can reflect on that reaction and it can arise in us that what's wrong with me, right? Why do I react that way? Right? Have I not done all of this work to try and get better in the self? Why do I still have that as a reaction? And I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer. What I do think is the answer to this question that I've been asking myself, at least, you know, in my limited perspective, is the fact that you thinking to yourself, I don't really know if I want to act that way. That is growth. That is the real growth, right? That is the part of you that is actually longing for a state of being that doesn't react in anger, that is changing that reaction. Might take a lot of time. Maybe it will get worse before it gets better. But I think that's the thing that we should be paying attention to. The part of us that wants to change, not the part of us that reacts in anger necessarily. So I'm totally a feature. Most of the time, it's not even the situation, it's the whole context of your mental space at that moment. Yeah, that's true. The fractal of mine, the fractal of everything that led up to you feeling what you feel right now. And there's a lot, like a lot. You feel so upset. I'm gonna wait. It's been an hour officially. Most of the time, it's not even a situation. Nova with you feel so upset and angry when people are inconsiderate of you and others. And that is why others think of someone as less than. You don't operate at the same level or have the same views. Exactly. That's in my mind what makes me more angry than anything. It's just a sense of disbelief, right? Like, how could you? That feeling of how could you? That makes me angry. It does make me angry. And if you really had to think about it, you could come to the answer of how could you. You know, in the case of the cats eating copious amounts of the meat, the how could you is as simple as I want to. That gate is broken now. It's opening itself and then closing itself again. Let's see if it's gonna do it again. Yeah, closes, opens itself again. he's murder. How could you? How could you do that? And then I see myself as dad just not paying any attention. Right, as the gate is closing. I don't know how you couldn't see it. I could see it all the way from here. But he could because he didn't have to pay attention. Doesn't have to pay attention to me. Doesn't just smell the fumes. Doesn't have to pay attention to the air he's polluting. So it makes sense how he could. It does make sense. I was taking a nap yesterday and Koji wanted pets, so he walked on my face. Man, those fumes are angering me again. Yes. Notice the anger. Notice how it makes you feel. Notice all of the possible reactions you could have to this anger. And then choose the best case scenario. All right, take the time. Take the time. If you're going to be angry, just take like 2 breaths, right? Usually it's like 1 breath for me before I start reacting. But if you can just like manage to take 2 breaths, like real deep. By the end of those 2 breaths, you will have come to, in my mind at least, the better conclusion to how you're supposed to be reacting next. The overall stress of an environment to directly correlate to the length of one's fuse. The more stressors we absorb throughout our day, the less it takes to bring the cup to overflow. What a beautiful point that is. Exactly, Joshua. Exactly. Fortunately, I am getting closer and closer to not living here anymore. There was a conversation shared like a week ago where my dad asked me, why don't I leave? Why aren't you leaving? Right? And yeah, I guess we are. It's getting close, dear friends. The wheels are turning on the other side. I'm looking forward to a change. I'm still going to have stressors. That's the joke, right? Like the stressors won't change. But what will change is just the nature of the stressors themselves. Like, I don't think we ever run out of problems, unfortunately. It's just how good we are at solving our problems that we really get better at. And again, the part of us that pays attention, the part of us that sees a reaction and then asks ourselves, what is wrong with me? Why do I react this way? That is the part of you that is getting stronger, right? That part of you is the part that is consciously evolving. It's literally evolution in your consciousness. Because the worst case scenario for you reacting in anger is to not even register it, for it to just be a normal, right? To lose your shit and be like, yeah, good. I'm the type of person who loses my shit. That's who I am. You know, that's then you're going backwards, right? That's not who we want to be. Love again to you, Hoopy. The biggest lesson I believe about that is to help us understand that we are all humans and we are here to learn and grow. Agreed, Nova. We have Zano joining us. Hello to you, dear friend. Poor Mother Nature. I love her absurdly much, dude. Like, I love her aggressively, to be completely honest. Right? Like, one of my fantasies. I know starting a sentence like that is a little bit concerning, but hear me out. One of my fantasies are that Mother Nature becomes completely conscious, and then through that consciousness learns how to use her magnetic fields. And then if there is like a group of people who dumps, toxic waste in her rivers, she just creates a vacuum of magnetic field where they stand. And then they will instantly be yeeted off the surface of the planet into space. I know that's a little bit wild, right? Like a little bit concerning, but that's a fantasy of mine. The Mama Nature just doesn't accept it. It's like, oh yeah, you want to kill me, do you? No. Mama Gaia yeet. Exactly, Kristen. Mama Gaia is just like, nah, toxic waste in my rivers. We don't allow that. Okay, calm. Relaxance. Hey, Jovan, joining us too, sending so much blessings. She's feeding baby woodpeckers. Love you, Jovan. Thank you for joining us, even for a moment, as you're busy with your things. Releasing my first hand fed baby today. They grow up so fast. Usually, when people say that, I think it's kind of cliche, right? People being like, oh, yeah, kids grow up so fast. I'm like, no, they don't, though. Took them literal decades to grow up, it took them decades. But you literally get to like visit them, what, 4 weekends in a row, and then they go from babies to being full fledged little burbs. So, yeah, they do grow up so fast. I'm so happy that you got to see all of that. Oh, baby woodpeckers, yeah, sending love. It's easy to knock us off balance when we are already full of ideas and arguments and considerations. Remember to weed through the little things that fill your cup of patience. Mm. What has been getting on my nerves? Just like I can feel the energy. I think that's the thing, right? Like there has been an energy present, the inconsideration. It has been a thing my whole life, literally, my whole life. And no matter how good I get at my spiritual practice, at melting away my sense of separation, no matter how good I get at remembering that He is but me, I can be angry at myself. I can be angry at myself. I believe the best case scenario is loving myself, right? And realizing that that self is present in Him as well. But I can be angry at myself. I'm angry at myself many times a day sometimes. But I forgive myself as well, you know. Like when I notice that anger towards myself, it feels even more palpable, feels even more painful. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to feel this angry at myself continually. And then if I can notice that, I usually go like, okay, I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I'm sorry, and I forgive myself. Can you let it go now? Can you stop tripping out about it? And when it comes to anger of another, of a creature, of a situation, that that projection isn't felt in the same way. But I still think it registers in the all mind in the same way, right? That feeling of like, like when someone is angry at you, that still is happening, right? It's not necessarily happening to you directly, but it's still happening. And that's what we're trying to get at, right? Like if anger left us all feeling better afterwards, I don't think we would need to change it. Right? And anger can also, like, anger is a part of your emotional spectrum. So it can be used. It can be used. Get angry at the part of you that gets angry, right? Get so angry at that part of yourself that you don't allow it to escape yourself, right? Maybe that's like one way to direct the energy. Face pain, duckling gut. I think there's like small little flies flying off my back right now. Northern flickers, they're so sweet. Their nesting tree fell down into a pond and we're giving them a second chance. I'm so happy to hear that. Blessings. Sunscreen falls into my category, the same as lotion. My body would question my sanity if I put it on. Fuck that. Take care of yourself, oh. Like if you're gonna be in the sun all day, using some sunscreen is only going to do you good, bro. I did. It was so thank you, Doug. Goodness, her gigantic smile. So much love. Mel, do you believe in heaven? I personally can't wait to be there and meet God when I pass away. I don't believe in the traditional form of heaven. No, I don't think so. Right? I believe in the realm of spirit, right? Heaven is on earth. There we go. Alex coming with like straight wisdoms. Yeah. Yeah. I believe there's the realm of spirit, right? Where you go, where you merge back into when your body perishes, right? But I don't necessarily consider that heaven because in the realm of spirit, there is aspects that you as a human ego consciousness would consider hell. For instance, and this is like some of the weird stuff that I probably shouldn't, share because it's kind of concerning. But last night while I was going to bed, I was asking for wisdom. And I was asking for wisdom from anyone who is willing to help. That was my exact query to the universe. It's like, I accept wisdom from anyone who is willing to help. And then demons arise. So many demons. And they were like, yeah, yeah, yeah. We're willing to help, they say to me. And I'm like, oh goodness, what did I get myself into? And I'm just surrounded by these entities who have like multiple horns and these like eyes and flesh that's torn and these teeth, coming through the bone and through the flesh and like inside of, and I'm like, oh goodness. Oh my. And I feel, at least in that moment, right, that the help I'm getting from them is again learning how to love. Learning how to love. Maybe that this whole topic of anger, this feeling of anger arising in me could be some sort of demonic expression, right? And instead of seeing them as evil, instead of seeing them as coming from hell, I can see them as an aspect of the infinity, right? The aspect of duality that I do not want to be associated with. And being able to see that kind of expression allows me to align myself with that which I believe is light, that which I believe is going to be the good. And it's interesting being a human, when we have so much access to more than just this human realm. You are more than just your body, like straight up, way more than just your body. And I guess we have to allow ourselves to learn how to not get angry necessarily with the things of body, right? The anger we get at our own bodies for hurting sometimes. Like I get angry at my body when it hurts. I'm like, bro, what are you hurting for? Oh, what are you hurting for? You have no reason to be hurting right now. Stop it. Body hurts even more. Oh, like stop doing that. Love you. You're already in heaven. Alex said it beautifully. Heaven is a state of mind, right? Like even though I was surrounded in my mental realm by actual demons, right? What I would consider a demon to look like, I was still in heaven because I didn't allow their presence to ruin my peace. I was still at peace, even though I was surrounded by these Yasibo Basi, Yikes Malikes, entities. I was just like, oh wow, I love you too. I do. I don't really particularly like having you here, but you are here now. So I accept you. And then they melted away eventually as well, as everything does. I'm gonna paint her face. Joe, 22 bucks. It's beautiful, but I just thought I need to give Joe pricing data. Love is true. I don't hear it. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, there's less as well. I can still hear the tractor pretty clearly. Still kind of on. She won't push it off. She was running out to everyone, roaring. So beautiful. They ate a pound of meat. That's a lot. Yeah. It's like literally, depending on how many of them were doing it, it's like almost a quarter or a half of their body weight, and meat. It's so ridiculous. I'm glad I didn't grow up with my dad. He left when I was born, and the first time I met him, he yelled at me for being a smart ass kid. You would think that if you had a child, you would want them to be smart. You would want them to have a mind of their own. You would want them to be confident enough to speak their mind and have like a certain level of self-confidence. But we've been conditioned to be obedient. We've been conditioned to be order followers more than we are conditioned to be consciously thinking individuals, mindfully considering, what our role in this world is. So it makes sense that parents can react in that way. Hidden blessing, right? Probably. I appreciate it. I super undercharged too. I was doing whole faces for $10. How about that? You could be charging double as much. $10 a face. How long does it take you? If you can do like 4 faces in an hour, that's like $40 an hour, right? That doesn't sound too bad. Who kills more rats, Pippi or the kittens? Pippi, by a large margin. Pippi is Slayer. Pippi is God Wrath rat killer. Like she kills rats, like it's a fun pastime activity. Maybe the cats kill more, but they eat them without me being able to see them. But yeah, the cats like their food kind of vibe. Nova, that is awful. Hugs from his dad. If you want me to beat them up, the other one, I'll take joy on that. No, let's just keep it with the hugs. Like I'll hug you. I'll be loving presence to you. If you have to move away from that space to go and beat someone up, you have less time to love other people. Yeah, that's the real smarts. Joe, this was Brookfield Zoo, so peak amusement park prizes. It's a lot of money, but it made her so happy, and every little girl deserves some whimsy. Agreed. Thank you, Doug Dad, for that. About my dad, he decided I don't want to meet him. I was in contact at one point as a kid, but I just didn't like it. It felt unnatural, as though I was speaking to a stranger. There was no bond, nothing there. It's almost like bonds form. Bonds don't just exist. We have to form bonds with one another if we are to be bonded with one another, right? If you want a connection, you have to connect. You cannot fake connection. You have to connect. You actually have to, right? It's like plugging your cell phone into the power socket, right? Your phone either charges or it doesn't, right? If you were like in the dark and you don't see your phone going, it means you haven't made the connection, right? Just because there is a cable, just because there is that fundamental connection to him having fathered you, into this world, doesn't mean that that connection is made or that plug-in is actually achieved. Well, I'm extremely angry too lately. We have reason to be, Brother Bear. So we try so hard to be good and we see others around us dropping the ball. We can't take it, especially if it's family. If it's family, we love ignoring us. If it's family we love, ignoring us. Agreed. I love you, Brother Bear. I'm so, like, a part of me can be very, I want to use the word insecure, even though I don't necessarily think that is the correct word. But I guess it is, right? A part of me can be very insecure about sharing the things that I want to share sometimes. Like today's whole stream topic about anger, right? Like if I was only concerned about portraying this persona of like, oh yeah, I'm Buddha, I never get angry. I'm completely ascetic. I don't even need food, I don't even fart. I'm just so pure and so gentle. That I wouldn't, have any reason to try and share this understanding that we have this anger that arises in us. And then by melting that ego consciousness that wants to be seen as perfect, we actually get to connect, right? We're like, oh wow, this person who I could admire, who does have some sort of quality of trying to pursue spirituality, also gets angry. Surprise, surprise. There's nothing wrong with me for also trying to be on the path of spirituality and still getting these experiences of anger. These things arise indefinitely, and all we're trying to do is get better, consciously evolving, actually consciously evolving. Like that word has been growing in significance the more and more I say it. Riding tractors and drinking is an immaculate choice, just like whipping the car. I'm not getting in a car with you ever, Connor. I've never. Fortunately, by the time we are in a car together, it'll probably be self-driving or something. I'll remind you. Remember when I told you I don't want to get in a car with you? Because at least this car can't be whipped by you. I've never enjoyed the zoo. Maybe the first time I went as a kid, I got to see the animals for the first time. But it didn't take long for me to be sad for the animals in their little jails and the behavior that comes along with that. It is a money thing, right? And I learned recently from you friends just how much money there is in it, actually. It really is absurd. Tuners out there riding and sliding. Huh? I got the zoo, and the animals feel my love for them, though. I can feel that as well. Like the thing that this might be propaganda from the zoos as well, but apparently the elephants actually like being visited by human beings. They like seeing you. Please don't fart anyway. I'm not going to fart. I don't have any farts right now. I'm just imagining this reality where I have fart mic. There's just like a microphone attached to the back of my underwear for fart mic. What's wrong with me? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like again, these are the type of things I shouldn't be saying if I want to be considered so holy, so majesties. But no, fart mic. I believe Gobbledygoo would be so proud of me right now. God bless you too, Brother Bear. I like the zoo, but the primates make me sad. The primates are us, like chimpanzees can drive golf carts and use smartphones. I don't know if they can text, but they can like scroll Instagram. I watched this. I like the chimpanzee or an ape where he's just like straight up using Instagram. He's like going into posts, watching, upvoting, scrolling to the next post, watching, scrolling to the next post. Like he's completely there, watching social media content, right? And I'm like, bro, how do people think we're different? How do people actually think we're different? And I was thinking about that as well today during my journaling entry. I was like going through this whole narrative of anger, and I was like asking myself why I think this way and why I'm reacting this way. And I was thinking about it in the context of cats, this disrespect I feel from feline energy, right? They just like so to give you the extreme. If all human beings died today, the cats would not care. They would not. They would eat us literally. They would go straight to eating us, right? They would be. I believe at least. Maybe there will be some cats that have some sort of remorse that go like, "Oh no, my friend died" or whatever. But majority cats won't even register. They'll just be like, "Oh, seems this thing is dead that I used to live with. Guess I'm eating it right now." Where vice versa, if all the cats just suddenly died in the world, people would be crying. People would be posting on their social medias about how devastated they are that their cats died, right? And that disconnect, I was like, what's going on here? What's happening? Is this what making me angry? Right? I think I'm going to no, a little bit more. I'm gonna move the sun shield and get like the last of this the red light. It's good for my bones and stuffs. Same feeling. Mixed. Going skirt skirt. Also, any motor vehicle is fun to operate while blackout. I'm going to reiterate. I am double not getting in a car with Connor. You shouldn't be getting in a car blackout, dude. What the fuck? Oh, you're making me angry. Right? I'm seeing inconsideration for the self, which is yourself, kicking your ass, dude. Someone stop doing that, you fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't drink yourself into a blackout and drive. Don't do that, please. Please. You need to survive. That's not indicative of survival. Yeah, anger, the reaction, it sparks the self pity and the questioning of yourself. I also say, what is wrong with me? Nothing. You should just ask the question of like, how can I be better? Right? Not what is wrong with me. How can I be better? Yes, I reacted in this way. How can I be better? Yes, I reacted in this way. Can I apologize to someone about the way that I reacted? And then from that point onward, be better. I'm joking. I have never driven under the influence. I'm happy to hear that. I'm very happy to hear that, bro. Like I was reaching into the metaphysical realm and freaking slapping you a little bit. It's like you slap me. Yes. Love and misery coupled around amusement. It makes my spirit cringe. Yeah. Yeah. I guess, like we're talking about zoos in that capacity still. Like the biggest thing with zoos is the fact that they used to, at one point, just lock them in like really tight boxes, like small little boxes, and there has been a progression of trying to improve their reality, their state of being. So, yes, all of this atrocity, but also the atrocity seems to be reducing, at least partially. So let's believe in that trajectory, right? Not what's wrong with you, human beings? What the fuck's wrong with you? Why would you do this? More, how can we do it better? Hmm? Does you remember? Uh, it's one of my favorite melt stories. I think I'm going to get there soon. Let me continue reading. I feel like I'm a little bit far behind. Still zoo. Actually starting 2.5 year project to give the primates a giant 3-acre outdoor enclosure. You see, like progress towards being better, not just angry at ourselves for not doing it well. I feel so many emotions. I get ups and downs, lows, but at the end of the day, I realize how truly happy I am. And I just find that all of those emotions are beautiful because it helps me grow. Nova, it like I cannot tell you how happy my heart feels knowing that this is the type of narrative happening inside your mind at this point in life. Just seeing the snapshot of like who you used to be and then who you're becoming. There's nothing wrong with you. You are growing. It's beautiful about the bear. Continue growing always. There is no stopping. The journey we're on is an infinite one. Duck Dad, yeah, exactly that. It's a great educational tool for people to see and experience what the planet has to offer. It's just a whole lot of mixed feelings. The way I think of it, and we have it that way in South Africa, is to have the animals be wild and then to put the humans in a cage that can move around. And then you drive the moving cage through the enclosures and then you get to see the wild animals wilding while you're the one in the cage to keep away from them, not keep them away from you. Right? That in my mind is the best case scenario. I felt that way for a long time. I can say that at least in the last 30 years of me going to the zoo, it was a prison for the animals as a kid. There we go. They've since removed animals that it wasn't capable of having. I'm so happy that we were connecting on the same fractal. Exactly. Duck Dad, exactly, but the bear. That is so sad, Melt, but imagine how beautiful and different your future will be when you move out. It's like an adventure. I can't wait for you to experience it. It's gonna be good, dude. Like, no doubt, it's gonna be good. I'm going to be moving in with friends. I think maybe within the next year, at least with what it's looking like right now, within the next year, I'll be out of here. And these dudes are clever, really smart, hardworking individuals. They want to create things. And that's the type of people that I want to be surrounded by. Unfortunately, my family doesn't have that drive, right? To like want to create beautiful things for other people to experience. And when I ask them why, there's just this answer of, because I don't want to. I don't want to. Why should I make something for other people if they don't make something for me? Why should I help other people if they don't help me? Conversation with Vessel that I've had twice. Why should I help other people? They're not helping me. I'm like, bruh, it's yourself you're helping. There is no separation. Yes, there is, Al. Stop trying to force your hippie whippy bullshit down my throat. Skippity bobbity. Yeah. Let the anger go. Let the anger go. Take yourself to places where people will celebrate you, support you, help you build a place like this, right? That sun is fire on my razor right now. Yeah, there we go. We'll watch the sunset together while I speedrun some comments. No, Mother Nature about to delete half the planet trying to Thanos or some shit. No, please. I don't think half the planet has to die, dude. I don't even think 10%. Maybe like a percentage. I think maybe like even less than a percentage of people actually have evil intent. might be even less than that, right? Like literally, maybe 10% of a percentage of people in the world have negative intent. And, unfortunately, those parts of humanity are the loudest. It's that part of humanity that makes us the angriest. I can't stop thinking about humans being the virus and the earth the body. We multiply nonstop and evolve to keep living in this body. The body raises its temperature and the other immune system to kill us. I like that analogy, and I believe they use it in like Kingsman, right? But I don't agree with it. Like it has happened before as well. For instance, the oxygen, part of the oxygen at least that you're breathing, was produced by an organism that created so many of itself that it literally made its own atmosphere toxic with the amount of oxygen that there was. And then it extinction evented itself. So yeah, it's happened multiple times over. Toothberry, toothpick is ready to fly. I forgot the name toothpick. It's so beautiful again. Not gonna lie, I've thought of us as the virus too sometimes. If we're a virus, I believe we're the virus of love, and we're trying to extend love, not extend hatred. Connor, it's a thought that comes from time to time for a decade. I've yet to fully unpack it, but it's there. Nova, we are now, every day the Earth's in a battle for survival. We're seeing it with temp rising, ocean rising, violent storms and disease. 2020 rings a bell. It has. And now it's just up to us to kind of like get to a level of awareness. Yes, Mel, you definitely need a new set of stressors. Seems like the family conflicts have no new lessons left to teach. I agree, Moja. It's happening. These things do take time, but it is just a matter of time at this point. Like literally less than a year. And a year is not a long time. Not at all. Hello, Peppy. You wanna come and sit in my lap, sweetie buddy? Sweetie, come and sit. Let's go. Go. There you go. There's a Peppy on my lap. A sweetie patootie. Melty, I feel like you understand the construct, and I feel like you are self-aware of most of the connections between you and Papa Melt, so I don't feel like I have much to say but this. Perhaps you are experiencing the childlike bond with your physical father, and the dynamic in your growth has changed while his has remained. Same love, but farther distances can skew the perception. Hard to see the forest through the trees kind of vibe. I get you, bro. I agree. I agree. I just don't think that there is any connection in removing connection, you know? Like, we don't talk on the phone. He doesn't call me. So I know that when I move, there will be even less connection. And I understand that. And it hurts me, but I realize that that seems to be the reality that is expected of me. And as I show up, I will see change. All I have to do now is show up for love. And then see the change that comes off that. You haven't talked about your mom in a while. What does she think about your dad wanting you out? Mom is okay. Mom is sitting pretty much next to me. She's doing well. She is pretty clear on the fact that she wants me here. But yeah, to my dad, I am the problem with the world to my dad, right? Like my belief system, he likes calling me new age. He believes the new age woke culture is ruining the world. So, yeah, I'm ruining the world according to him, and I can see him ruining our world with my own eyes, right? Not conceptually, but actually. And there's like a part of him that doesn't want to admit that to himself or to anyone else. And that, unfortunately, is inevitable when we spend time together, right? You cannot run away from the thing that you are, especially when it's so clear. Hard to see the forest. I wish I had a pack of helpful demons. Bro said he's seen demons and said, I love you. You have to, dude. You have to say, I love you to the demons as well. That's all they want, dude. Even the demons. And I had this joke. Oh, goodness, I just remembered that. Uh, During that whole experience where I had these demons encroaching on me, they were also showing me like the horrific things they would do to other entities, where they would torture them and stuff, and hurt them and cause them great suffering. And I was articulating to them that you do realize the reason you're doing that is because you love. And they would be like, no, that's not true. We hate these people, and that's why we're hurting them. I'm like, no, you love hurting people, and that's why you do it. And they were like getting so viscerally angry with me. They were getting like frustrated by the fact that I was still trying to like project their actions in a light of love as well. Joe, this is so weird, says Alex. I just posted on my Insta something about not being able to see the light while you are in the dark. What you said matches the vibe of the download I received. I'm so happy that you're echoing and that you're seeing even more synchronicity, dear Alex. You are it. The thing that you seek is yourself, ultimately. I need to send everyone my stay loving remedy mix. Please do. Please reach out to Shen, get yourself some remedies. Wow, melting more daily, every day, dude, more and more. Hey, I remember I saw a frog yesterday. I still match my download. It still matches my download. You can't see something approaching you. Maybe this message is for Melt. Thank you for sending it to me, Alex. It's received. Well, I'm not going to follow anything. The only thing I follow is myself. I want my own freedom. I get you, bro. Stay with it. Does my Wi-Fi suck again? Honestly, I think I get more angry at technology letting me down than I do at people. Same, actually, Mojo. Like my technology not working the way it's meant to does cause me a lot of anger as well. Where I'm like, bro, come on, dude. Like Wi-Fi technology is like decades old, dude. Come on, get with it. Or when my Bluetooth doesn't work or something, I'm like, bro, come on, Bluetooth. Come on, dude, don't be like this. It's hard to elaborate in 200 character statement, but I try to communicate the base of ideas. I feel like this thing is right there in front of you, and maybe you just haven't looked at it yet. Oh, Brother Bear, I've seen it. I've seen it, and I just wish that my dad would be willing to look with me. That's the thing that really frustrates me more than anything. It's not so much what I'm seeing, it's just his unwillingness to see what I see. And to then gaslight me into trying to convince me that I'm insane, that I'm crazy, that I'm hallucinating, that I'm, on a trip, that I'm fucked in my head, etc., etc. That's why, like he mentioned this to Christian, that his mind is warped, like that's what he believes about us. He believes our minds are warped. And as a result of that, it's impossible for him to take us at face value, to take our advice, because we are insane, we are stupid, we have our brains damaged, essentially. Nova, nice profile pictures. Yeah, that's right, little Dixie, so cute. Boundaries and keep them, support you, love is true. A quote comes to mind: no man can be a prophet in his own land. My mom has actually said those words to me as well, Brother Joshua. We are meant to learn at home and venture out with what we've learned, to spread the love and temperance, what we've learned at home. Agreed. I completely agree, Brother Bear. It's just very difficult for our youth right now, Again, 60% of people under the age of 30 are unemployed in South Africa. Like, I know you just heard those words. And again, it's so hard to actually consider what that means. It means that there are millions, like tens of millions of people without work right now in South Africa, like me, the same age as me, looking for work, and they cannot find it. All right? I've tried to get work. I've applied to multiple places over the last few weeks as well. There's no work, dude. And moving out and getting into a new place requires money. And if you're not earning enough money, then you cannot move out and start paying for a place. especially if you don't know that you're stably going to be earning a certain amount of cash in the same way you do when you have a salary, right? Which I don't have. So I get what you're saying and I agree with what you're saying, but it takes a little bit more on my side, to actually get to that point. I really dislike my impulsive thoughts. My mind just sometimes thinks of things I don't want to think of. But now my mind is less impulsive. I guess more disciplined in a way. It will keep getting better, Brother Bear. Just notice your mind like the same way you notice clouds floating in the sky. Don't identify. Watch them change. Accept them as what they are. Accept them that they can offer some value, but don't accept them as the self. My cats love me and hate everyone else. They'd be sad if I died. They'll be sad for like maybe 2 days, and then they'll get hungry and they'll eat your face, Joy. I'm so sorry. Right? Like us, we wouldn't start eating our cats. We wouldn't do that. We'd probably give them like nice little burials if all of them died. Cats will just straight up eat your face, Be like, aware. This part of the human is nice and soft. What about when you're drunk and naked and try to steal a car at your family's party mall? We don't talk about that, Joy. We don't talk about that. Didn't I share that story on Sangha or something, like in confidence? That's what, Joe, what? That's surreal. I need that story. It was shared in confidence. My trustometer for Joy just got like still love-o-meter still all the way to the max, like knob got turned to the max and then got pulled off so you can't turn the knob back, but trustometer going to be even more reserved. Oh, that's one of my favorite Mel stories. It's a good story. Maybe I did share it here. I can't remember. Basically, uh, it was just after I turned 18, or maybe just before I turned 18. One of my cousins, who was a cousin by marriage, right? My uncle married a lady. The lady already had kids. One of those kids turned 21. So we had a birthday party for her. And her side of the family was there as well. And obviously, it's South Africa. The only pastime or for celebration there is drinking. So there was drinking. And she had these two cousins who made it their mission basically to make sure that I get as drunk as possible. And they would keep bringing me drinks. And then eventually, by the time I've already drank more than enough, they brought me this whole tray of vodka shooters. And they gave me this whole tray of vodka shooters. And I had to take this tray around and offer people vodka shooters. And every second person I got to was like, I'm not going to take a shooter if you don't take a shooter. And before I know it, I've taken 8 to 11 shots of vodka. And that's essentially the last thing I remember. I wake up feeling like there's a factory producing ethanol inside of me. Hello, sweetie, sweetie. And I don't feel good, yo. Like I straight up feel like death. There's like puke in the room. I walk outside. I notice that there's nobody else sleeping in the room with me. And I get in the car eventually, to drive back home. And my uncle takes it upon himself to let me know what a, disappointment I am and how I'm fucking my life up and is getting me. And then I learned from my cousins afterwards what I did. And essentially, I started the night off by getting, Sam used that word, belligerent. Belligerent. Hey Google, define belligerent. Belligerent. Hostile and aggressive. Maybe not hostile and aggressive. Maybe like a little bit hostile, but not aggressive. Where I had like a confrontation with mom. During that time of my life, me and my dad's relationship was even worse. And he would just like rip into me. And he would like say these horrible things. Like get to these conclusions that I'm faking my depression to make him feel bad kind of vibes. And my mom would just stand there in silence, say nothing. And I felt, again, that was an offense. right? Like, she's like the one person who can defend me in that situation, and she wouldn't. And a part of me was really hurt by that. So I communicated that anger, right? After that anger was communicated, apparently I wanted to get out of there. That was my words. I want to get out of here. So, you know those key hanging racks that have like those little hoops, and then it has like screws on the backside that it hangs on? I took the entire key rack off and then carried that key rack, chose the car I wanted to drive with, and then started testing key by key to see if one of these keys work. And I didn't use the buttons. I, for some reason, used the little sticky part of the key to try and open these cars. Eventually, people confiscated the keys from me, tried to get me back to a room. When I'm in the room, apparently, they were like sitting around the fire. And the next thing they know, I reemerge from the room completely naked. I have a towel on my shoulder and I'm just walking to the bathroom because it was outside. You know, it was like these rooms and then it had like a bathroom area on the outside, like a communal bathroom. And I like towel over my shoulder, fire area outside the rooms, walk naked to the bathroom, take a shower, clean myself off, you know, go back to bed again naked, walk back past them. Yeah, not my proudest moment. That was like the day that I realized that alcohol isn't something that I actually want to be doing. Like no other thing has led me to that state of being, you know, that kind of like behavior. So thank you, Joy, for bringing that story up. Oh my goodness, Doug, Dad. This wild time, this wild time, I thought your profile picture was a duck wearing a hat, but not. Just realizing it's a dog with a red ball. Agreed. I do believe that's what it is. At least from far as I've seen, at least. Yeah, big red ball. Okay. In April alone, a fundraiser from the zoo raised $1.6 million directly for conservation. That's a lot of money. Zoos are unfortunately necessary for conservation. Yeah, especially with the changing climate. It might be like our bank to have animals, you know, to repopulate our planet, you know, if those animals go extinct. Thanks, Mel. I'm happy. These days, I'm growing and learning to love life and everything around me. I'm appreciating so many different things I didn't consider before. Feeling so freeing and peaceful. Yeah. And it's almost like that's all I want for you, bro. That's all I want, right? If I want anything from you, friends, it's that. I want you to have this deep, unchanging, resolute feeling of peace and being free. That is what's valuable to me, right? Sure, my ego would like money. Sure, my ego would like things. Sure, my ego would like status. But if it doesn't come with peace and freedom of the individual as a result, what is it worth, right? What is it actually worth? Nothing, nothing. I'm gonna die eventually, and then all of the money, all of the status, all of the things stays behind. You know, I don't get to take it with me. I feel that something important is about to happen. It's happening, Alex. You are a part of that something important. My family doesn't have the same vibe to create beautiful things for the world. So I'm alone around many all the time. I wonder if we were saying the exact same thing at the same time, Doug. Yeah, something important is happening. Exactly, Joe. Airy fairy now regularly. It is a nice word, airy fairy. I don't know if it's offensive, but it's a nice one to me. Yes, guys, but a manifestation of some sort. I believe the Earth is going to change its vibrational frequency. And there are going to be an expectation for people to align with this frequency, right? Like you can think of it as an awakening. That the Earth is going to awaken to its own state of being. And when it does, those who aren't willing to align with an awakened state of being will have a hard time, right? That's about how I see it. Gonna name my exact cat Tooth, my next cat Tooth Pick now. Toothpick is a cute name. I'm really proud of this. Been trying to find the perfect emoji combo. Dang it, the flag broke. I don't know what that emoji combo means, unfortunately. Flag, clinking hockey stick time. French toast stick? Oh, French toast stick! French toast stick. I got it! I got it! I freaking got it! I'm so happy to hear that. Love you. Love you, Kristen. I don't even know if you're here anymore. Blessings to you. I have a woodpecker that visits me and talks with me almost every day. I'll name him Toothpick also. Suddenly, an influx of toothpicks all around the world. There is a full of crows here too. So many animals coming to our friends, aligning with their beings. I bid you adieu and wish each of you amazing, beautiful, courageous, delightful friends a fantabulous day, as we wish you one too, Kristen. Blessings to you, friend. So much lovin's. We have Shell saying, Shan, one of the benefits of flower remedies is they create space for the formation of core memories of the mind, heart with the remedies. The memory is available when the remedy isn't. I skip days. And last night I was troubled, but I couldn't remember my not racing mind and go there. Then race a little. But then I slept. So much love. I've been taking my remedy every single morning as I start my journaling as well. And that's like kind of the memory I'm attaching to it to resonate with you a little bit more, Shell. So that part of me that is contemplative takes the time to really articulate what I'm feeling. That is what I'm attaching to my remedy, because that's the part of me that doesn't get angry, right? If I really just take the time to consider why I'm getting angry, it starts making sense to me. And then I can almost just like giggle at it. And I'm like, oh, this is actually kind of funny. You know, it's kind of silly of me, but funny still. I would rather have a warped mind than be a blind robot. Agreed. Completely. Alex, I deleted my previous comment along that theme. Could remember Shell. Blind robots make comfortable co-workers. They're alive, but I don't think they're actually living. They serve a function, like everything does. You know, that we can call trees biological robots. All right, they don't have to be autonomous. If the trees wanted to like feel the grass every now and then, right, and I'm sitting on the tree and I just get like knocked out by a branch, that wouldn't be great for me, right? But doesn't take away the divinity that is a part of them as well, even though they might be stationary and stuck in a certain state of being, right? At least last night, I think I read one. I like to leave my comment. I was on stream. Exactly, Shell. We are 70% water, so the frequencies from the remedies get embedded in us. They also send other frequencies. Be thinking of the feeling, Peppy. That's just Yudi. Don't grrr at Yudi. Don't grrr at Yudi. Don't be meanie Kubini at Yudi. Don't be a meanie Bobini. I'm gonna touch Yudi but duty. Oh, Shamashiki Mashiki. Oh, Shayudi Kidudiki. Oh, Shayudi but duty. Oh, Shayudi Kidudiki. Oh, Shamata do that but do that. Look at those little tippy tappies. You want some more? Okay. I'll give you some more. Oh, shalaka laka. Peppy is scratching her own ear. I'm gonna scratch your ear kiss for you. There you go. Ah, doggos. We have Kitty coming closer as well. She's going away. She's like, nah, don't film me, dude. Fine. I love Peppy. Look at her. She's such a jelly belly, though. That's a Yudiki. Look at how jelly she is. She's like, no, dude. You should be giving me attention. Animals. How blessed are we to be surrounded by beings that live so joyfully. I understand how you feel about it. Mine never truly cared. I also felt alone, and I feel alone still. Most of it's my inner child who never felt actually loved and cared for. Taking a moment to hug your inner child, Alex, to remind her that she is seen that she is enough, that she is loved. Take it with you. Feel these frequencies embodying. Oh, the freaky people make the beauty of the world. Yes, exactly. There was a classmate in my class that wanted to help a woman with a child, but would not accept a remedy because it had alcohol in it. Very, very small amounts. And my instructor told her to think of the feeling she gets when she takes Rescue Remedy, and her friends and their child would feel their vibrations and still be able to get them that way. There we go. Being able to share the vibrations, right? Because we do, right? That there is a vibration in anger as well, and you can share the vibration of anger. And everybody knows what that feels like, right? If someone is angry at you, you'd know, right? There's no confusion. If someone goes, you're not like, oh, I wonder what they're feeling right now. Right? You know, it's very clear what they're feeling. And in the same way, kind of like just having feelings of calm towards your loved ones, they also embody those same feelings of calm in the same way. It might not be as visceral or as reactive as the projection of anger, but in the same way that that anger in your body can arise in like this extreme tense way, calm doesn't arise in that way, so it is going to be less noticeable. Melt them stresses away. I remember I got blackout drunk and woke up in a hospital bed and woke up being pinned down by 3 people, and I was fighting to get up and I was being held down. I bit someone's arm. And then the one person I wanted to see was my grandma, and she didn't see me. Instead, she went out to party with her friends. I felt so bad, like no one cared. Your grandma seems lit. Sorry. I'm sorry, no, but that's not the answer you probably wanted. Blessings, bro. I know. I get what you're saying. Yeah. Alcohol doesn't do it for me. You know, it takes away, I believe at least, a part of your divinity, the part of you that imagines a beautiful future for yourself and others, right? Because that's what alcohol helps you with, right? Sure, it's a social lubricant. It helps you kind of like lose some of your inhibitions when it comes to your conversations as well. But ultimately, that loss of inhibition is also a loss of ambition. The part of you that imagines a future. And some people imagine a negative future, right? They imagine their current state of suffering and seeing in the future how, since they're unwilling to deal with the suffering, they can just continue drinking it away instead of having to deal with it, right? Forgetting about the fact that they'll have to deal with it again by drinking in this moment. Dealing with our things, especially with our issues, is the only way forward. The only way out is in, ultimately, right? Alex, I experience the feeling most while I'm watching people perform at a high level, and I picture them as children of their parents, and I get really sad. That feeling is what I'm working on. Shan, I'm a believer. I'm a believer, I believe. I have remedy in my water right now. I'm a believer as well. And the one person, I think everyone, can't tell you enough how happy it makes me that you're responding so well to these wonderful remedies, Shal. Blessings. Thank you, Shan, for offering your medicines. Shell, you always portray so much strength when you speak. I see a very collected and sturdy spirit when I think of you. You will heal because you are more than capable. So much love, my friend. Thank you, Joe Schmo. I see this too, completely agreed. Thank you so much, Joe. I share this because you are my friends, and you will show me the edges with love and kindness and point me towards the center, always. For what it's worth, I agree with Joe Schmo, right? Shell, like you're a superpower in my mind. Ermias Blur. Ermias Blur is gonna be here with us for as long as it can be. And if it ever breaks, I'm going to turn it into a bunch of pendants or something. You know, make it into something new that other people can hold pieces of these streams with them. I felt such shame and like a disappointment. This happened when I was 14 and going through the thick of my mud. I went to my grandma's a few days after. I felt the shame and judgment from my entire family. My uncle called me a drunkie. My depression definitely got worse after that. I thought of myself so lowly. It was horrible. I would drink to self-medicate unbeknownst to me at the time. And now I understand it. And I look at it through the lens of love. And I know that that was needed for my growth. though I never felt like my family really accepted or thought of me the same. Yet, I still love them. I really know what you say, Brother Bear. Yeah, same. Like literally, almost like word for word. Mine was a little bit older, but pretty much word for word. Shall you feel like that because you imagine their childhood being happy and perfect? I think almost the opposite, right? You know, maybe that they were coerced. They were forced to perform at the level because that's what their parents expected of them. And now them being these performers, even though it can be visually impressive, they might be stuck in a state of being that they didn't choose for themselves. You know, surely there are people in the performance arts that want to do that. But yeah, I think enough said. Da-dum. Help the story to help Melt feel better about his experience. Love you, Nova. Thank you for synchronizing with me. I picture them with their parents smiling as they perform, dance, sing, run, speak, act, complete anything. Their parents drive them places. I get that too. I guess now, as well, Shell, you get to be that for your son, right? And that's what you've been trying to do. And that's you melting generational trauma, ultimately. I remember when he or she was a small puppy, so cute. I love Pippi, but she's the best dancing doggo. She really is. Like I don't know how she got it in her mind that that is something that she wants to do, but she literally dances with me. You know, jumps on my scarf, wants to play along, and she knows. Like if I'm not actually like dancing properly, she doesn't try and catch the scarf. I have to like be aggressively dancing, like actually stomping, before she starts joining in. I see. Do you know? Don't compare your life with anybody. Everybody has issues of some sort. Agreed. Indeed, they do, Alex. I'm seeing them as strong adults and making up things I don't actually know. Maybe some are actually similar to me, of course. Maybe some of them hate the fact that their parents have been driving them and have been supporting them to do this thing that they never wanted to do in the first place, right? There's so much fractal. The best purple cup. Yes, exactly. I tend to compare a lot too, but it's pointless and it does no good. I would ash a piece Ermias blur and spread the ashes. No, dude, ash is useless, bro. I can I can take a like a water blade and cut it in pieces, and then take those pieces and sand them, and then embed those pieces in a piece of acrylic, and then have like a bunch of small beads or a little message or a psychedelic flower on the white inside of this cup, for example. You know, make a bunch of individualized pendants with like psychedelic flowers that point at your body. Ash. I'm sorry, I don't mean to throw shade, brother Bear. I guess it's just a matter of, different worlds, seeing different things, right? Peppy is a special dog. Yeah, she is. The last comment made me smile. Yes, I do. Drive Shell Jr. and support his interests. Melted. Exactly. Get melted. My throat hurts from singing. Are you giving yourself ample rest, Brother Bear? Are you drinking enough water while you're singing? I don't know any other advice. Rest and drink water. Sleep enough, drink water. I'll play some kalimba. Hermes blur necklaces. Yeah, exactly, dude. This necklace has been with me since Moksha, the very first music festival I went to. Proper outdoor festival, music festival. Bought myself this little crystal. The original neck piece has broken in the meanwhile. I remade myself one. But this crystal has seen some stuff, dude. Bracelets would be nice. Yeah, dude, exactly. I'm happy to see you seeing the fractal. Let's play some kalimba, shall we? I'll have that, and then I'll move myself. You'll see. It's getting a little bit cold again, as it does, but I'll start this timer and then sit here. Bum bum, ba dum bum ba dum, bum bum, ba dum bum ba dum, bum bum, ba dum bum ba dum, bum bam bum ba dum bum. Sicketh. What a experience. We got to go through all of the motions. Got to experience the noise coming from afar, getting louder, going away into silence, dogs barking. Such a fullness, if I don't say so myself. Okay. Yo, that looks nice. Getting right on my seat, huh? That looks nice. Right on top of my seat. Yeah, it's my seat now. I like soft. I like soft. Yeah, soft, nice. I think I got misquatted while I sat there playing my kalimba, with my hands occupied. Yeah. Monsters. Monsters drinking my blood. How dare they? Yeah. This is a vibe. Look at that juicy orange goodness. But be joining me on my lap. Thank you, Mal. Thank you, Shell. You and Shan loving the kalimba warms my heart every single time. It's a pleasure to play it for you friends, knowing that you're actually going to appreciate it. What Pepe really likes is a warm butt cushion. Technically it's cold, because my butt was vacant from the cushion. But it's true. They can like see the infrared or feel the infrared and they dart for it. They're like, yeah, give me that warm. Yeah, I've been resting my voice, but I screamed before and I made it worse. Now I'm fully resting. Yeah, screaming, not really great for your voice. Talking about anger today. Getting that anger away. I think this might be, there we go, a wider frame for us. Get even more of them orange. A Meltmore Museum necklace as a shine history. Meltmore Museum would be dope as hell. 100% one day, right? Maybe like 10,000 days from now. Yeah, maybe like 10,000 days from now, there'll be a Meltmore Museum. I actually want to like make a Meltmore Museum for my flowers, weirdly enough, but that hopefully isn't 10,000 days away. Shit. I'm gonna be like a little bit angry at myself if I waited that long to actually do it. Let's see if I can add more red light here. Yeah. It feels a little bit more like I'm still being illuminated by the sun that's setting behind me. Lovely humans. We love you, Alex, so much. Thank you for spending some time with us today. I decided I want a kalimba now. I think it would help me on my music journey. It's a nice way to make music without the shame or the anger. It can be attached to making music as well. It's very gentle in that way and forgiving. Like you can make mistakes and kalimba will be like, it's fine. Still sounds like Ting. Might sound like Ting off tune, but still sounds like Ting. Ting-a-ling, ting-ting. What Pepe really likes. Universe is grateful. So much love. Thank you, friends, for listening and giving your opinions. It's a blessing. It really is. Kalimba, that kalimba wells some really heavy juju. I believe so, dude. I believe it has a soul even, right? Like I straight up believe that kalimba has a soul, right? Because it used to be a tree. And now that tree is allowing me to speak, like this tine vibrates this wood. I mean, it vibrates the tine, but it vibrates the wood and gives that warm sound, that warm. And that's the soul of the tree speaking. Can dogs see in infrared? They basically did this study where they had an infrared camera and they like showed a person sitting on a cushion and create like that infrared warm spot. Like through the infrared, you could like visually see that there's a warm spot. And then as soon as that person got up, the dog would instantly jump and lay directly on that warm spot. You can only see on the infrared spectrum. So maybe they can, at least in part. I screamed 4 times, maybe out of anger. Ooh. 4 times grand. Blessings to you. No, Melty just casually says he wants his own museum. I'm gonna make my own museum, even. You know, why not? Why not, Joy? Why not? Hmm? You know, I'm not someone to believe I'm unworthy. You know, has all of these points. Melt thinks he's unworthy in this way. I'm trying to melt that part away as well. After all, I like screaming. I find it a little freeing, in a way, as weird as that sounds. The only time I get close to screaming is when I'm in the cold shower and I have that part of me that arises like ah, yeah. But I usually don't let it get out of hand and I hurt my voice that way because I know I'm gonna have to talk to you friends afterwards. I would be grateful if you pulled a card for me, Mel. I'm sure you would, Nova. I should start charging actually, bro. I'll be like $11.11 and you can get any card pull you want though. Maybe I'll get you a spot in the museum. Have like your plaque. Oh, be like, yes, part of the ones who funded this museum. I just pulled 2 cards by accident, so I feel like that's perfect. I feel this card is going to be our card, and then this card will be Nova's card. Okay. Okay. I mean, we pulled this card recently, and it feels trippy that we talked about the crystal again today. So this is the card for the stream, and this is the card for Nova. I pulled both of them upside down. Receiving. Stone stories and receiving. Stone stories being ours, receiving being Nova's. Of course, all of these cards can go for all of us. Look at that Burby at the bottom, and this divine feminine entity receiving. $7.77. Yes, thank you for your payment. Received. Your card has been pulled. Your curls are looking spectacular this evening. Thank you. And one of my favorite tricks is doing this, where I pull them straight and then they go blop, blop, blop. They have energy, potential energy attached to them. Magical number. So we pulled 2 cards ending in 4, weirdly enough as well. So Stone Stories. Oh goodness, what happened to my book? I have one of these pages a little bit turned. Pull both of them upside down. The upside down meaning goes, you may have missed the message. Consciously listen more carefully. Did I miss the message today? Am I still angry? Maybe a little bit. Damn it. Stop it, cards. You don't know me. You don't know me. They do know me, unfortunately. They do. Did I miss the message? I guess even though I got the message, I'm still not accepting the conclusion of the lesson, right? Because the conclusion of the lesson is notice the anger and then notice how there's a part of you that notices the way you react to the anger. And that part of you knows that that's not how you want to react to the anger. Right? Acceptance ultimately is going to be the correct reaction. Loving acceptance. I stretch my churls for length checks. And they go, what? Right back to where they were. Oh, Stone won again. Yeah, we pulled this one recently even. I feel like the upside down meaning was what we're supposed to read. Both of them we pulled upside down. I don't think the last card has an upside down meaning though. No, it does. The reverse meaning goes. Are you ready for this, Nova? I'll read card number 64's upright meaning for all of us as well, because this is a really special card to me. It's so beautiful as well. Divine feminine entity receiving. Cosmos exploding from the top of her being. DNA spirals. Yeah, we're talking about my curls, actually. How about that? How about that, Joy? Dripping out even more. Your curls as well. Of course, they both end in 4, of course. Except my hair is dark brown. Your sky is super pretty. So an ombre situation. Oh, like my hair is being colored by the sky a little bit again. Nice. At least not as it used to be. Maybe not anymore. I think anger and resentment are different. Sometimes it can be harder to let go of resentment. That's a good thing to tell me right now. Am I being resentful? Like I'm tripping out now. Actually, wait a second. Because I think I might have used that exact word in the journal today. Resent. Search. There it is. This is how I ended it. I have to let love win over hatred and anger. I am not an angry and resentful person. Love is true. Love is true. I am not an angry and resentful person. Love is true. That's not who I want to be. Thank you for reminding me again, Moja. Such a beautiful card, it really is. One more time, and then I'll read us the meanings. Upside down meaning for you first, Nova, because it was ultimately pulled upside down for you. And it goes, you are reluctant to accept your role in this evolution of consciousness. I don't think you are, to be completely honest. I feel you have been accepting your role. Ask for guidance and assurance that you may more fully participate in this important time in the human story. I'm thinking about a little bit about Alex right now, actually. Her mentioning that she can feel change coming, right? Are you feeling reluctant to accept your role in this evolution of consciousness? Again, we use that word a few times today as well. It's even more trippy that it comes back so many times. Okay. Willow is the essence for resentment and bitterness. I'll add that one next time maybe as well. Nova, do all the girls squeal over your curls? I think my hair is brown as well, technically, right? I think so. Resentment is built up emotions, being tired of how everything is treating you, tired of yourself and your own views of the world is a multitude of things. But I believe no one stays resentful forever. I am accepting it. Accept it. Plenty of people stay resentful forever, unfortunately. This is true, actually. There's a lot of people who are still just as stuck in the same old resentment they've been holding on to their whole lives. I don't want to be that, right? Do I want to, right? Asking our consciousness, do I want to live in this state of resentment for the rest of my life? And I don't know about you, friends, but I have this resolute no, no, we don't. We don't want to live in that state of resentment. I am not reluctant. I accept it blissfully and honestly. This is the final card in sacred geometry, cards for the visionary path. Embedded in this beautiful background of this image is stunning geometry that appears as a crop formation in 2003. The figure is charged with readiness and receptivity. Her arms outstretched and open hand chakras are an expression of trust, openness, and infinite potential. She is a lightning rod and receptor of universal information and infinite wisdom. DNA spirals appear as pillars or antennae in support of her readiness. This card celebrates the transformation that is taking place in our experience of reality and our willingness to shift from the separation of duality consciousness to the certainty of our connectedness with all that is. Sacred geometry is one way that information and energy are entering consciousness at this time. We are gaining a greater appreciation for and are participating in the evolution of consciousness. As you continue your visionary path, allow your awareness and understanding of sacred geometry to nurture or to be a signpost of your willingness to become a beacon of hope and a guiding light for those still caught in the old paradigm of separation. Remain receptive to the messages you were receiving and give thanks for your conscious participation. Hey, Susan. What a blessing seeing your name in chat with us. We're just about finished with today's stream. What a blessing having all of you here with me. Yeah, when I go out, people compliment my hair and say it's nice. You are a blessing to this world, dear friend. My head is tingling hearing this. Receptivity, friends. Receive love, not anger. Receive joy, not hate. Receive the pleasantness of peace, not resentment. Love is true. It's what you're here to do. Remember your purpose. Make love. Make beautiful. Make happy. Make more of the good. And if you do that, there will be more love, more happiness, more good. Right? That really is how simple it is. That's all we have to do, dear friends. That's conscious evolution for you. I love you so much. Thank you for being a part of this consciously evolving process with me. I can't do it alone. None of us can save the world alone. It has to be a collaborative effort. Right? I cannot hold my fingers interlaced into themselves without every single one of my fingers holding them interlaced into myself, right? I can't just like hold one finger, try to interlace my hands. No. All of us. I love you. Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna wait for Shannon and Anna's beloved comment before I finish up the stream. Let's see. Thank you. Thank you. There it is. Have the most beautifulest day, everyone. Blue K joining us too at the end. Maybe you were here the whole time. Love you, friend. Have the most beautifulest day, everyone. I sincerely love you all. So, very, very super duper, stupendously, staggeringly, dearly. Melt in all of you absolutely, wonderfully, fantastically, marvelous friends. Wow, it seems like this card literally fits with what I said today about how I appreciate everything around me. Receiving the everything that is around you. So much love. I literally resonated with that. I'm received by all the best people. Yes, yes, you are. So much love. Thank you, dear friends. Thank you, Joy, for sending our love-ins to Blue K as well. Mojo, thank you for your love-ins. Shell, Nova, of course. Shannon, Joy. I love you all. Even if I'm not saying your name directly, I love you. And if you have ever been said, hey, you, yes, you, I'm talking to you, I love you. Blessings to you, dear friends. I'll see you again soon, tomorrow. Love you to the moon and back, and back to the moon, and then back.